Hi, my name is Katie Smith and I'm the Healthy Schools Program Manager with the Georgia Department of Public Health. Today I'm going to provide an overview of the SHAPE School Physical Activity and Nutrition Grant Program. I hope by the end of the presentation you have some great ideas of how to improve nutrition and physical activity environments within your schools and are ready to apply for funding for this next school year. The SHAPE School Physical Activity and Nutrition Grant Program, a program under the governor's statewide initiative called Georgia SHAPE, aims to assist schools in their health promotion efforts, improve and adhere to their school wellness policies, and implement evidence-based programs or best practices related to physical activity and nutrition. There are two policies that help inform the SHAPE grant program. The first is the SHAPE Act of 2009, which requires annual fitness gram assessment for Georgia public schools, and the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010, which sets national nutrition standards and wellness policy requirements. The SHAPE School Physical Activity and Nutrition Grant Program provides two levels of funding to schools. The first, core funding, provides $3,000 to schools to implement two nutrition strategies during the 2017-18 school year. The second level of funding, enhanced funding, provides $5,000 to implement two nutrition strategies and one physical activity strategy during the 2017-18 school year. In addition to funding, schools receive technical assistance during the grant period to help plan, implement, and document the impact of their strategies. The technical assistance framework consists of an initial intake call to learn more about the school, a kickoff summit to learn more about the grant program and resources that are available to the school, peer-led webinars or conference calls to share ongoing successes and challenges with other schools, a site visit, assistance with your final report preparation, and ongoing technical assistance as needed. There are 7 requirements or deliverables that schools must complete as part of the grant program. The first is to identify a SHAPE grant school champion who will spearhead the efforts and be responsible for the grant deliverables, establishing or enhancing a diversified health or wellness council to assist the champion in completing the deliverables, completing the school health index assessment, developing a nutrition and physical activity strategic plan, attending a statewide best practices meeting, also known as the kickoff summit, participate in the ongoing technical assistance, and lastly, to submit a final report in. Schools are eligible to apply for the grant program if they meet the following criteria. 1. Are a Georgia public elementary, middle, or high school. 2. Collected and reported the FitnessGram data to the Department of Education for the 2015-16 school year. And 3. Participate in the National School Lunch Program. Schools that have received a SHAPE grant in the past are eligible to reapply if they submitted all required reporting from the previous grant period and meet one of two criteria. 1. Have only received a $3,000 grant in the past, or 2. Received a $5,000 grant more than 5 years ago. The SHAPE School Physical Activity and Nutrition Grant Program application will be released on Wednesday, March 1st, 2017. The application is due no later than 11:59 p.m. on Friday, April 28th, 2017. We anticipate that the award date notification will be sent out on Wednesday, May 17th, 2017. The performance period, which is when the funding will be given to the schools, is from October 2017 to June 2018. Now that we've reviewed the background information, I'd like to spend the rest of the presentation going through the application step by step. Following the recommendations will ensure that you submit a strong and successful application. The grant application can be found by visiting georgiashape.org. Once there, click on the Grant Opportunities button found on the right-hand side of the page. This button will direct you to the Grants Opportunity page, and then you will click on SHAPE School Physical Activity and Nutrition Grant Program link. A PDF version of the grant application is available on the SHAPE Grant webpage. Please be sure to download this PDF and review the information required for the application. Also, gather the appropriate information before applying online. Be sure to also collaborate with school administrators, district and/or school nutrition directors, classroom teachers, PE teachers, school facilities or maintenance, parents and caregivers, students, and community members. Let's start with the first section of the application, the demographics section. You'll see here that it includes basic information such as your name and email address, as well as school information such as address, number of students, staff. Also, there's an open text box at the very end of the demographics section for you to fill out a brief summary of demographics of your school and the community. Items to include in this section include the ethnic racial makeup of the community served and your school population, educational attainment of the community served, average household income, and demographics of students such as percentage of students with disabilities, English proficiency, or free and reduced price lunch eligibility. The remaining 3 questions of the demographics section will ask whether your school previously received a SHAPE grant, whether your school collected and reported the FitnessGram data for the 2015-16 school year, and whether or not your school participates in the National School Lunch Program. After completing the demographics section, you will then need to select which grant you are applying for. As a reminder, the $3,000 or core grant is to implement 2 nutrition strategies during the 2017-18 school year. The $5,000 or enhanced grant is to implement 2 nutrition strategies and 1 physical activity strategy during the 17-18 school year. In Section 4 of the application, you must identify who will be your SHAPE Grant School Champion. This individual is the person who will be leading the efforts of the grant throughout the school year, and also responsible for making sure the deliverables are complete. This person may or may not be the same one who's applying for the grant. However, keep in mind that the person who's identified as a SHAPE Grant School Champion must be employed by or affiliated with the school. In this section, you'll need to complete the champion's name and email address, as well as a brief summary of the person's qualifications for serving as a champion. Items to include in this section include the background or experience of the champion, their role and length of time working with the school, and provide any kind of demonstrated leadership roles within the school, such as health or wellness initiatives or other areas within the school. Section 5 asks about your health or wellness council. Schools must establish or enhance their health or wellness council for the 2017-2018 school year. These councils are very important to help plan and implement your grant activities throughout the year. A great representative wellness council includes individuals such as teachers, school nutrition service, health and PE department, parents, students, administrators, and community members. In the box below, you will need to describe your current wellness council, if you already have one established, or discuss plans for developing your wellness council. This will include team members and roles, how often you would meet or will like to meet, as well as others that you think are missing from your council that you're going to invite this year. Also, briefly describe how your wellness council will be engaged throughout the year to help achieve the SHAPE grant deliverables. Section 6 of the application includes information on the School Health Index Assessment. The School Health Index Assessment is provided by the Alliance for a Healthier Generation's Healthy Schools program. This assessment allows schools to identify strengths and weaknesses of school health policies and programs and helps provide direction for future health efforts. Please note, if your school already completed the assessment but was done so prior to October 1st of 2016, you will need to complete it again. 3 items are required for the Section 6. The first is to include the date the School Health Index Assessment was complete. The second is to attach the results of your assessment. And third is to identify findings from the assessment, such as strengths and areas for improvement. Next, I'll go through detailed instructions on how to register and complete the assessment. There are 4 main steps for completing the School Health Index Assessment. First, you'll need to visit the Alliance for a Healthier Generation's Healthy Schools program via the link found on the slide. Second, you will need to create an account with your email address and a password. Once your account is created, you will need to search for your school. If the school already has registered a team, you will need to join the school team as a team member. If the school has not yet registered a team, click on Start School Team as Team Member. After the team has been created, you will need to click on the assessment to begin each of the modules. Please complete all required modules and required questions. If you have trouble with any of the previous steps mentioned, click on the Help button on the Alliance for a Healthier Generation's website. This will connect you with the additional information as well as contact information with the Alliance for a Healthier Generation staff. Once you've completed the assessment, you will need to download your results for your application. The first step will be to log into your account. Once you have logged in, you'll need to click on the Assessment button on the left-hand side of the menu. Then, click on the little small button on the right-hand side that says Download/Print. This should download an Excel file that you can save to your desktop. Now that you've completed your School Health Index assessment, you'll be able to attach your results to the application as well as input your completion date. Then, in the open text box, you will need to identify strengths and areas of improvement that were found on your School Health Index assessment. Items that were marked as all or yes in the assessment are meeting the best practices, which should be strengths. Items that are not marked as all or yes can be listed as areas for improvement. Please include 3 of your strengths and 3 areas for improvement within your application. Section 7 of the application is where you will input your nutrition and physical activity strategies, or your actions and activities. As a reminder, all applicants, core and enhanced, will identify 2 nutrition strategies. Those that are applying for the enhanced funding will also select 1 physical activity strategy. As a reminder, these strategies are trying to assist schools in creating policy, system, and environmental changes to support healthier school nutrition environments and increase physical activity. Strong preference will be given to schools who select strategies that will reach all students, improve fitness gram and meal participation rates, and result in a policy change. You can view examples of various activities that previous SHAPE grantees have completed on a document attached on the grant application page. First, you need to select the activities that you will be implementing during the 2017-18 school year, followed by an open text box. In this box, please describe in detail the proposed activity, why it was selected, and how your school has plans to implement the activity. Activities will be scored on whether or not they align with the School Health Index assessment findings that you identify in Section 6 of the application, whether you're reaching greater than 50% of your students, whether these activities will lead to policy, system, or environmental changes, and whether or not the ability to sustain these activities past the grant funding. Here are a few examples of how schools have used SHAPE grant funds in the past. Programs such as running or walking programs during lunch, or taste tests to inform menu modifications. System changes such as granting staff access to the physical activity facilities at your school before or after school. A policy change such as implementing a daily recess policy or a non-food rewards and celebrations policy. Or environmental changes such as creating walking or running paths or redesigning the lunchroom. Section 8 of the application is the budget. You will need to attach a brief draft budget proposal that aligns with the activities that you proposed in Section 7 of your application. In this budget, please include items such as supplies, equipment, incentives that you need, as well as estimated cost for each of these items. Please note that a detailed budget is not due at this point. Also, the budget may need to change in order to meet grant deliverables and expectations. Schools may also identify worksite wellness as an area for improvement within the school. If your school would like to work on worksite wellness strategies for your faculty or staff, you may dedicate no more than 10% of your total award amount. Please indicate your intent to conduct employee wellness efforts within your budget. Section 9 of the application are the additional deliverables that each school must agree to should they receive a SHAPE grant. The 3 items that you must agree to is sending 2 representatives from your school wellness council to attend the Best Practices Summit, 2, participate in technical assistance, and 3, submit a final report of your activities and outcomes to the Georgia Department of Public Health. Section 10 is the last section of the application. This section is to confirm your submission and that you have consulted with your school principal, your school nutrition professional, and the PE lead teacher about the application. Please check that you have done the above activities, as well as provide the name and email address of the principal, school nutrition professional, and the PE lead teacher. A scoring rubric will be provided on the SHAPE grant website. You will see the points available for each section of the application, which includes the school demographics, the SHAPE grant school champion section, the Health and Wellness Council section, the School Health Index Assessment, action and activities, and the budget. I hope this presentation has given you a step-by-step guide of how to complete the grant application for the SHAPE School Physical Activity and Nutrition Grant Program. Should you have any issues or further questions, please contact me at katie.smith@dph.ga.gov or at 404-656-7448. Thank you and good luck.